Welcome to Andy's Powerboat Videos by Andy's Video Photography. To the shores of Lake Macquarie, round 3 of the Australian Superboat Championship, video by Andy's Powerboat Videos, edited and curated by Andy's Video Photography.
Car racing sort of thing. This is the Olympic hard sport equivalent of getting into boats at an entry level, catering for all ages. So the kids doing a fantastic job out there on this little course right here in front of us. As Team 3 heads out onto the lake. So one race today for the third round of the championship and 2 races here tomorrow morning and afternoon. So today we are scheduled for a 1:20 p.m. race start for race 1. Race 2 tomorrow here on the lake at 11 a.m. and race number 3 for 1 p.m. here tomorrow afternoon. An absolute stunner of a day. If you're down here on the waterfront, I apologise for the accent. Yes, I am a Kiwi. Born in Melbourne, lived in New Zealand, moved from New Zealand, now live in Brisbane. So try and work that out between us. We will live stream the races over the weekend. I'm going to do race 1 this afternoon on our offshore superboat Facebook page. If anyone's out of town, can't be here with us overseas, I know a few of our Kiwi friends will be watching the action here over the weekend. Of course, a lot of the Kiwis have come in and out of the championship, and the Australians have gone over to New Zealand to race as well over the last few years or so. So lots of interest from around the world as part of this championship. We will have 9 boats out on the race course for race number 1. 3 of our super categories boats capable, in ideal conditions, probably on 140 mile an hour. Slightly shorter course here, the front straight would probably be the quickest part of the course right here in front of us, where these boats will be right up against the shore as they come past off the start and over the laps during the race, which is half an hour race distance.
They will be. They will be absolutely flat out.
They will be spectacular right here in front of us. And if you hear it race control, just off the back of the marina, you can see the 2 junior flag
by
boards.
Andy's Video Photography on the
That's
beautiful
where the race basically
shores of Lake Macquarie. So as we have the boats going out onto Lake Macquarie, just to warm their engines up.
Some of the boats are already out onto the race course, as I said. So in about 15 minutes time, they will do a sighting lap, just to have a look at the race course for the first time as it is laid out. Slightly different to last year if you were here. The B&C boys down to our right here from race control. They're probably a couple of 100 metres further down the course, which also extends the longer lap boys, B1 and C1 down there, which is just out of sight of us here at race control. So from here, they will run in an anti-clockwise direction.
So they're going to do a financial lap down around the course just to see how the course looks here on Lake Macquarie on this beautiful Saturday, the 19th of October 2019.
So again, with our support of
cloud in the sky here on the shores of Lake Macquarie.
And getting into the
this is my first offshore powerboat race.
There's so much going on around the lake.
Be absolutely fantastic. For race 1 of the 2019
where I stayed last night. We've had
Australian offshore
we've had the boat run out on the race course earlier
on the shores of Lake Macquarie.
So there's all sorts going on. We've got the markets over there at Warner's as well. I think I went past this morning. So SUV Simrad just going onto the race course. Now, from memory, I wasn't in Bowen, but I believe that boat actually got upside down in an incident at the previous round of Bowen. So Con and his team have done a huge amount of work to get that boat turned around. A little bit of structural damage, but the biggest issue is getting the water and everything out of the engines when they do get upside down. So good to see that boat back on course. Spectacular in the black and gold livery of SUV Simrad. And Con is certainly one of the more passionate people in the sport of offshore powerboat racing in Australasia. He's just about to walk up to the truck now. I have to say thanks for Con for inviting me in, because I'm playing super sub for Dave Bishop this weekend, which I've done a few times in New Zealand and here in Australia, but this time it's for real because he injured himself in a water ski boat accident. Was it in Europe, Con?
Yeah, it was.
It was in Europe. What was Bishop doing skiing?
Yeah, he was.
He wasn't skiing.
He was driving the boat.
He was driving the boat, and it didn't, and it went wrong.
I think it went over, mate. So he broke his femur in 3 places.
How does that stop you from commentating, or is he still in Europe?
No, they flew him home on a jet and all that sort of stuff, but he wasn't allowed to fly.
Oh, thanks, Bishop.
Yeah.
Hey, what
mate, how you going,
just
all right?
talking about it, mate.
Yeah, good,
what
buddy.
an absolutely amazing venue. I know you've been doing a lot of press over the last couple of days and getting some news and that. It's a beautiful spot
This
down
is
here in
Con,
this part of the world.
the
But
president
what a
of the
venue
Australian
for an
Offshore
powerboat
Superboat
race.
Championship.
Mate, it's the best place in the world to race powerboats. I mean, look at the people around, the number of people on the shore, the support that we get from Lake Macquarie is just unbelievable. All the boats in the middle of the course. Well, what do you want, man? Look at Warner's Bay over there. We can just see all the tents and everything else set up over there. Yeah, just stunning, mate. Look at the waterway. I mean, man.
Yeah, look, for me, trying to compare it, like I've done a few of the rounds here in Australia, but I haven't been to anywhere that compares with here. This, for me, is almost a Mount Maunganui round down on the east coast of New Zealand, about 2 hours south of Auckland, which is an inner harbour. But this is a little bit different again. But it offers it's different challenges from the likes of Bowen and some of the blue water races that we've got. We've got a little bit of a breeze up there to maybe get a little bit of lift going. But what sort of speed do you think you're going to see out of there today with some of these big boys?
Oh, with these big boys, it's going to be flat knacker, mate, with this sort of conditions. And I know that Andy Smith in Dynamics got a new set of engines in, and he's going to be pushing Roscoe and Team 3. Oh, sorry, Roscoe in Maritima and Team 3, because he's really, really keen to do really well this weekend. So you're probably going to be talking 200 k's an hour down the straights.
200 kilometres an hour, folks. And these are big boats. These boats are, I think your boat SUV, Simrad is in around that sort of 2.2 tonne range. What are the big boys at? They'd be 3.5, maybe up close to 4 tonne.
4.4, mate. 4.5 they've got to weigh. So, and some of the others, you know, they weigh up from there up. So, and they're 40, between sort of 36, I think Team 3 is 36, up to 41 foot. So, yeah, it's going to be very exciting, mate.
And we know what they weigh because they get weighed, the world's biggest scales, with the Wilson crane going in the boat into the water this morning.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Wilson Cranes do all this for free for the community of Lake Macquarie, which is just absolutely unbelievable. I mean, without that sort of support from the community, we wouldn't be able to do it. But the crane scales are just unbelievable. I might have been able to go on them one day. You know, maybe the both of us.
Yeah, mate, you're looking quite svelte there, buddy. No, hey, fantastic venue, and thanks for having us here. There are a couple of the Kiwi boys that come across, and I know there's going to be a few watching from the other side of the ditch on the live stream, which we will do for race 1 here this afternoon, if I can get my phone going. Your team, SUV Simrad, you've had a lot of work to do since Bowen, because it didn't quite go to plan up there for you guys.
No, it didn't, mate. We, the boys, Les Binkin, who owns Mum on Point Marina, it was his first time in the boat, and Kenny Tree and I had actually done the Melbourne round, but we didn't get very far because we blew something up. But yeah, they put her on the sled in the last race in Bowen, so yeah, just a full rebuild of everything, and so she might be a bit off the pace today because this is is going to be the first real shakedown on it since the rollover.
Since 2010.
So we'll just keep our fingers crossed.
I've been filming powerboat racing since 2010. This is my
A
first
lot of work
offshore
goes on
powerboat
behind the
race.
scenes, but not much structural damage. It was more having to strip the engines completely down, because once you get salt water in them, it's not good for lubrication and moving parts.
No, they don't seem to like it. I don't understand. I don't know why they don't make it all stainless. Like if I was building an outboard, I'd make it stainless. But no, the full engines have been pulled down. These are actually different engines. So BRP, Evan Root have been absolutely fantastic in helping us get those ones up and running and ready for this race. Otherwise, we wouldn't have made it. But it's all rewiring. It's you know, new screens. We're lucky enough to be sponsored by Simrad. And they supplied everything that we could ask for. JL Audio, Simrad did all of that stuff for us. So yeah, no, just awesome, man. But 200 odd hours to pull everything out, put it all back together. So yeah, it's just how it is, mate.
And everyone's got to work for a living too.
Yeah, that's the hard bit. It keeps getting in the way.
Alright, so that's some of the behind the scenes work that goes on. So I think we've pretty much got all
Keep it down so that they don't blow it over. Because in these kinds of conditions, there's no waves, there's no nothing that they have to concentrate on. And they're going to be going as fast as they can, which means, you know, just even a little bit of wind under the tunnel in the wrong spot, and backwards over they go. So we're not hoping for any of that, please. But it's good to see the little jet ski guys out there over there at Warners Bay. They're doing their series over there as well. Over there in Warners Bay, I was over there this morning. And there's a car show, there's all sorts of stuff. Tomorrow, Spears Point, which is just behind us, they're actually going to have 300 to 400 classic and vintage cars there. So if anybody gets a chance, get over there and...
Yeah, we had the aerobatics over the lake this morning. There's markets over there. I drove past the markets this morning coming into the marina. So there's so much going on around this absolutely amazing venue. Now, the other thing that comes into it with the different types of boats and things, advantages, disadvantages, there's a couple of tighter corners around the race course. The Maritimo boat and Dynamic Racing are both set up very, very differently with their drive systems. So who potentially could that sort of be an advantage for here on this race course?
I guess this is a good race course for both boats, because you've got your long straights, which would be great for Dynamic, and then you've got your really tight corners, which would be great for Maritimo because it's got outdrives on it. So yeah, it's going to be really interesting. I reckon in this sort of water and in this sort of course, T3 is going to be all over them, mate.
Yeah, and look, down on horsepower is unfair because they are running a different engine package. They're running a pair of 502 cubic inch Mercury's big blocks. I'm used to seeing that combination in New Zealand with the class racing over there. Very, very reliable, not running a whole heap of RPM, very, you know, and you know, they, as you said, they could keep these big boys honest, and that'll be worth watching. Boat's probably a little bit smaller too, so like Dynamic, they've got the centre rudder, still running two props obviously, but the steering conditions between that and the two stern drives off the back of Maritimo certainly are a different equation.
Oh, absolutely, mate. And you're going to see that today in these little tight corners that we get, especially the little dog leg over to the right over there. That's going to be really interesting because the boys are going to be right up tight as they come out of Warners Bay. Yeah, it's going to be just so exciting. But, of course, when you actually see the race today, you'll see the big boats, Dynamic and Maritimo. They've got 2 long laps to do. So they'll actually head off, and that's down the southern end of the course. They'll actually head off down and have to do 2 laps that are a little bit longer than Team 3. So
nearly, it's about 800 metres, so they have to throw those. It's almost like with the rallycross where you've got to do those extra extension laps as part of that sort of thing. So that's a new thing that's been brought in this year?
Yeah, look, we're trying to integrate parity into the sport so that anybody can come with, you know, certain spec boats. And the 525 boats, there's a lot of those around the world and in New Zealand. We'd love them to come over and know that they can actually compete on a virtually level playing field with the guys in the extreme class. I mean, why not have 6 or 8 boats? It sounds like they're up, Jamie.
Yeah, I think we've got some action down there, so you'll see how long it does take to get these big boats up on the plane because they're pushing a lot of weight. Prop-wise, they'll be set up probably mid-range acceleration and top end. If you go too much top end, you're going to struggle a little bit with the acceleration.
We have the power boats on the banks of the Lake Macquarie come out onto the course just to go out for a triangular lap.
They're doing the sliding lap.
Look at these awesome machines.
So I don't remember the question, but as soon as these boats come,
Absolute Team 3. Has a rooster tail out the back. Oh, this is absolutely fantastic. Team Maritimo, number 11.
Now, I know that boat because I commentated that boat back in New Zealand as Doosan. Good mate of mine, Alan Branch, who actually used to work with, ran that boat as well as an infield doctor colours. So, cool to see that boat over here.
yeah, absolutely, mate. And it's just another boat to come and race in the series. It's just absolutely fantastic.
Maritimo going through. That's Maritimo 11, the Willetton boys again. The iconic colours of Maritimo and offshore powerboat racing. This is the Hulk. I'm pretty sure, and nothing against the SUV Sunray boat, it's a beautiful boat, but I just quietly think the kids quite like the Hulk.
Oh, why wouldn't they, mate? That's the best comic book character you could find.
Speaking of comic book characters, Foldsy, who's in the boat. Ironic that he's 4'7" and the boat's named the Hulk.
Well, extreme big.
That's the other extreme of the scale. 88 Racing, that boat's been a giant killing boat in the sport over the last few seasons, and the FL's do an awesome job.
Oh, they do, mate, and they're such a good competitors. They're here all the time, they work hard, they do just a great job getting that boat up and prepared, mate. It's just awesome.
Right, and they're just cruising around at the moment. They're certainly nowhere near full race pace, just getting their eye to see where the market points at. Will they be identifying some spots maybe on the shore for a couple of the bigger turns, just to give them a reference point?
I'm certainly hoping what they're doing is making sure they're not going anywhere near any spectators or spectator boats. So that's the first thing I'd like. But yeah, they're just sort of feeling up the water, seeing what the conditions are like and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, and we've got, just as we look down there where the boats are going now, we see the Roads and Maritime Services guys. They put all their time in. The Roads and Maritime actually really support this event really well, and they put all their time in for free.
Now, Dynamic Racing's been a little bit late getting away here. I wonder if they've got an issue down here in front of us. It doesn't sound 100%. Whether it's just on one engine at the moment, but they're struggling to get that boat actually up on the plane, so hopefully that is not an issue for Dynamic Racing. Are they heading back to the marina? They've got a little bit of time before the race starts. Could be something as simple as found plugs or things like that, but it looks like they may be heading back in.
Yeah, I'm hoping that they just maybe spilled their coffee and they just need a rag to clean it up with, mate.
Yeah, we'll go with that. So we'll keep an eye on that, but it looks like Dynamic. No, they're going to turn back out here in front of us. 12 metre long Maritimo with the pair of 750 horsepower, 510 cubic inch big blocks in it. I don't know about you, mate, that just sounds like it's either it's on a miss or it's got one engine down. Sounds like one engine has the potential to misfire.
That's not good for that boat.
You can see them.
That is not good at all for Hayden in Dynamic Racing.
Now, so when
he would be absolutely furious. I hope he can get that boat going.
So that's
Come on,
a tricky
Hayden.
combination where you've got that pretty sharp left and then it's a sweeping right heading out towards.
Yeah, does not sound good at all.
So yeah, that's going to be an exciting one, I reckon.
Alright, so the Superbag Cat outboard class is going to be spectacular. 6 very, very competitive boats in amongst those guys. Who's leading that championship at the moment? It's very close, I know, with the Extreme Boys. Who's leading Supercat?
The outboard. It's actually the Hulk at the moment. And I think Saracen's second.
It's all pretty close, I know that. Certainly across the 3 extreme boats, it is very, very close to the points. Yeah, no, the extreme boats is close as well. No, we were talking about outboard. Alright, so building up towards this race start, and just keeping an eye here on the big Dynamic Racing boat, number 128 right here in front of us. Now, they may be going through some start-off sequences where they're actually turning engine off, resetting. Not as much data as they've had in the past with these going to a carburetor setup with the Extreme class this year. I'm sure they'll be on the radio and trying to get some advice to sort out what they may be doing if they're going to head into the marina. They have got a lot of time. As the rest of our boats are in the milling area for the race start. 120. You'll see them pick up the throttle. They'll be in 2 rows. The Extreme boats across the bay. lines 3, and then a little bit further back off there will be our 6 Supercat outboard boats, starting in that second wave.
But it is a great race spot. And people get to see it. You know, there's cars and people lining the shore all the way around. And that's what you need. And people want to see the boats as often as possible because that's essentially part of the sport.
And as a venue, there are access points right away around this racecourse, and even the end of if that's open, there's boats parked down there. So it is a fantastic viewing platform for powerboat racing.
Oh, absolutely. And we look to the northern shore over there, and you see all the cars parked in the car parks. And there's actually a walkway, and you can see the people lining the walkway all the way around that the Lake Macquarie City Council put in. You can walk all the way from Warners Bay all the way around to Spears Point Park, and that's just a fantastic thing. They've got seats, and they've got parks, and they've got everything. So, and Lake Macquarie Council are a huge supporter of this event. They put over $100,000 into ancillary things around the lake while we're here. I mean, the toilets are all supplied by them. All of this, we get all the park for free. Yeah, they just really look after us, and so big shout out to Lake Macquarie City Council. Rebecca Prince, she just does an absolutely fantastic job. Alan Norris, great work. So yeah, without them we wouldn't be here, man.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic to have the local support, and I hope the kids playing cricket and soccer on the sports grounds that I drove past this morning won't get too distracted by 1,500 horsepower superboats running past their sports grounds.
I'm sure if they're playing cricket they'll be running down to the water, mate. And just leaving the balls and the bats where they are.
How did you get out, son? Oh, I got hosed down by a 1,500 horsepower supercat. We talk about the race starts and things like that, and just making sure around the racecourse with the sighting lap that there's nothing out there that shouldn't be where it is. The most amazing thing I ever saw was on Lake Taupo, and you're right on the waterfront of Taupo again, a great venue. We had a swimmer swimming down the front straight of the racecourse not 10 minutes before the race start.
Really? That's unbelievable.
Deciding to do a long distance swim 100 metres off the foreshore on Lake Taupo.
That's unbelievable, Jamie.
Yeah, delayed start. Can someone go and retrieve that swimmer, please?
Mate, just up on the commentary.
Yeah, that's
so we should be about 5 minutes away from the race start. I heard Dynamic Racing fire back up in the pit area here at the Mumung Point Marina. They've shut it back down, so they'll be feverishly trying to get that sorted out. I know the Maritimo boys were running from here. That is one of their engine packages in the boat.
Yeah, so
they stop here right in the middle where they check it.
Jamie, I can't believe how absolutely this water looks on the beautiful banks of the Lake Macquarie. As we say, thanks to Visit New South Wales.
Stunning day. I'm used to this coming from Brisbane, but I'm not even going to say about coming from New Zealand because it's raining again there today, apparently. In saying that, it is raining.
They could stay over there.
And we seriously, I think everyone needs a little bit of rain around the country.
Looks fantastic with all the boats in the centre course, mate.
Alright, so we've got spectator boats right around and in the inside.
Looks like the white flag's up.
We've got the start boat starting to make some activity down here to our left. And we shouldn't be too far away from a race start. Race 1, Lake Macquarie, offshore superboat, round number 3. I should get my phone up and running.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Do you want me to... Can you stream it? Yeah. I don't know how to do it, though.
Oh, do you want me to teach us?
Yeah.
Alright, hang on.
Closest to the shore, Maritimo 11 in the centre to the right of the start boat. Watch these rooster tails pick up.
As they come down.
These 3 are going to get an absolute...
White flag's down, they're racing.
As they drag race down before the race start. Here at Lake Macquarie, Maritimo 11.
As they go down to turn 1 and 2, thundering down Lake Macquarie.
Just trying to get that shut, so they've had a little issue off the start, and they're just at the tail at the moment. Looks like they may have got it back down and secured.
They go down to turn 1 and 2.
Issue off the race start for SUV Simrad.
And it looks like Team Maritimo out of turn 1 and 2.
Maritimo got the advantage. Well, Team 3 got the advantage initially, but that horsepower
Team 3
on the straight
in
down to
second
B&T
place.
marks gave that initial advantage to Maritimo 11, being chased by Team 3, and I think just in behind them is 900 horsepower of Yamaha supercharged 450s with the Nisbro team, and the leading outboard boats are not too far off the back of the 2 leaders.
Team Hulk
as we await for Dynamic
in
to come
fourth
out
place.
onto the race course.
Looks like something's happened on this, bro.
But Nisbro slow, just as we've said that. So yeah, Con, you just spotted that. I'm going to get this live stream up and running. They may have got it back up and running, but no, they've definitely lost some straight line speed.
Yeah, mate, and that one's running twin 450 Yamaha supercharged, so they actually should be up beside Team 3 at the moment, so maybe they had a little overheat issue or something like that. It looks like, as you say, they're back up and running. I think that's we can hear Big Andy and Hayden coming back out in Team Dynamic. They're going to be a lap down by the time they actually get up and start. But,
as they came out of turn 3 and 4 down the back straight.
Coming up, I don't know what's going on.
Team Maritimo in first place and Team 3 in second place. Race 1 of the 2019 Offshore Superboat Championship, round 3 on the beautiful banks of Lake Macquarie.
They missed the start, they had a misfire by the sounds, but they're going to come out
Team
right
Hulk
in front of the
in
leader,
third
which will
place.
be Maritimo Racing. Team Dynamic have got their issues sorted, but they will be a lap down for race number 1. Here is Maritimo on the fly to complete lap number 1 of the first race of Lake Macquarie. Team Dynamic is up on the fly, waiting for Team 3. Look at the size of the race to tail from Team 3. The 525 first. Second place, Still doesn't sound healthy. Still does not sound 100. Here's Hulk, first
Team
out.
Hulk is in third place.
Outboard leading boats, championship leader chased by
TCR Racing 161, fifth place.
First boat race on the third.
88 in sixth place.
And this boat ring now, they're back up and running. That looks like race pace.
Team Maritimo in first place goes down to turn 3 and 4, down to towards the
Sitting quite
turn
well,
3 and
maybe
4.
It was Dynamic have stopped down here right in front of us. So Maritimo Racing over the back side of the course towards Warner Point. Warner's Bay, sorry. I'm trying to get my geography sorted. Seriously, I am geographically challenged. Maritimo has definitely got the boat race lead. Team 3 in second. That gap is probably 300 metres at the moment. Again, I think Dynamic doing a reset, trying to clear whatever issue they've got with one of the engines.
And Hayden in Dynamic Racing is still having a lot of problems with that boat. Oh, that's totally unfortunate.
I don't know if it's one engine or both engines. SUV Simrad, so they're just coming through now. They're definitely down on straight line speed.
As we have Team Maritimo come out at turn
Stopped.
5
The I mark.
and 6, down towards turn 7 and
Already about to
8.
complete lap number 2. So time raced half an hour. Team 3 is making the right-hander. Oh, listen to Maritimo. Those 750s are just screaming. Take a listen to this on the waterfront. This is when a commentator just goes, shh. On the Gold Coast, 1,500 horsepower, 510 cubic inch big box, carbureted this year. We've got Team 3. Listen to the difference in the sound with Team 3 with the 525 Mercury. They're not using anywhere near as many RPM as the full-out race engines in Maritimo. 525 Mercury's at 502 cubic inch. They're pretty much a pleasure boat engine. You can find those boat engines in some of the big gin palaces around the world. Rolsey and Big Walk are doing a great job in the hull. It's being chased by TCR offshore. Anthony DeVito and Saracen. Endo and Maniac Racing in the Pro Marine.
They go down to turn 1 and 2.
Doesn't look to be sitting
Disappearing down to turn 1 and
which
2.
of those port started, but I can't remember which side's which con.
I'm about the same, mate. I'm going to go.
Right, so race number 1 here on Lake Macquarie. Just a stunning day and a stunning venue. We've got spectator craft right around the venue, inside and outside the courses. Maritimo continues to absolutely fly. They've made that turn. That's up at the F mark. So the right-hander just coming up to now as we look right down the centre of the boat is the G mark. It's the orange mark. They're just making the run around now. Big RPM and the boat's just sitting beautiful on the water. Not an overly challenging day weather-wise. There's a little bit of lift coming up the course, probably that back straight at Fuller's Bay. They'll have a little bit of a tailwind behind them. So they get settled into the last mark to complete lap number 3. H and I, and the big yellow one here right in front of us before the checkered flag, boys, is the A mark. Again, just listen to a pair of screaming 750 horsepower big blocks. Teams are running the hearing props. It's pretty much the standard around.
Here comes Team 3. Down from the top turn 7 and 8. Back onto the main straight. Here on the banks of Lake Macquarie. Team 3 in second place.
Running the 502 cubic inch locker into the 8th. And the whole gorgeous little race boat. Mercury 300 excesses, so around the 600 horsepower mark. It's a newly built boat called the Shifty Cat. It's dynamic. With Big Hank,
Team Holt in third place. And TCR Racing in fourth place. As we have Team Maritimo and Team 3 over on the other side of Lake Macquarie. As I go over to Team Maritimo onto turn 3 and 4.
Dynamic racing and heading back to the pits. One of the rescue craft just getting down from Woodford now. So a nasty moment here at Lake Macquarie in the early stages of race number 1.
Oh, Tim, has he stopped?
Can't confirm 100% which boat it was. We did hear a word on the forefront here in front of us that potentially it was the 88 racing team, but as soon as we get confirmation, we will let you know.
It looks like Team Maritimo who's come to a stop.
Yeah, it looks like the Disbro team, one of the first boats actually stopped and they look to operate their assistance. We've got a flying tree sitting here right in front of us, but I can't quite see. Con, you seem to think it is 88?
Yeah, well, I can see the underside of the hull. It looks like a little shifty cat, so that's a shame.
Alright, here comes the shark catcher in the centre of the course, so the rest of the teams would have got the word around the course. We've got our Supercat outboard boats have slowed down to our right. Just trying to pick up where Maritimo...
He's come to a stop.
Maritimo, I think they're up towards H and I. Team 3 just coming up to the G mark.
Team 3.
So as soon as we get an update. We'll certainly let everyone know. Dynamic Racing certainly heading back into Taree here to try and get their issues sorted out for races 2 and 3 tomorrow. So, Tom, potentially right now, where does that sit with, will there be a restart, potential of a restart? We were not even 15 minutes into the race.
It's going to be a tight call, mate. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
That sounds like our submarine guys.
Yeah, not much of an air force left in New Zealand. You guys certainly make for it make up for it over here. The new F-35 space down at Williamtown. We landed in last night. Unfortunately, didn't get to see them, but I'll have my plane nerd hat on tomorrow when I fly out, see if I can spot them. So first 2 rounds of the championship, round 3, obviously here. Look, we've got 2 more races left to go on the weekend. Yep. With the sport, and I've had it in New Zealand after the end of a race, someone go, when's the next race? Yeah. That was it. Yeah. We've got 2 more races this weekend, 11 and 1 p.m. here tomorrow. Similar format. Again, in this absolutely magnificent venue. Round 4 of the championship, head back up north to Harvey Bay.
Yep, up to Harvey Bay. Up to Harvey Bay for the last round of the championship.
Yeah, it's November sometime. It has to be before the end of the year.
Yeah, normally. Doesn't mean it will be. But no, I think it's the 1st of December.
Yeah, we might try and get up to that one. I think it's about 4 hours north of Brisbane where we are. I haven't been up to Harvey Bay. I've got some relatives up there, so that's another great venue.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. It's a fantastic venue. So everyone's looking forward to Harvey Bay. A little bit of a shame. I don't know that there'll be enough time to get Mike and Griff both back up and running, but hey, let's hope so, and let's hope there's not too much damage to it. Taree Motors and stuff, Griff and Mike, probably 2 of the best outboard mechanics there are, so they don't have to rely on anybody like I do to get their things back up and running, so they just do it themselves.
I can hear Dynamic just revving up in the pits behind us, so they're problem solving at the moment. So, look, I would suggest we're not going to get a restart here. Certainly tomorrow, love to see you back down here on the waterfront at 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. again. Just hold off, we'll confirm that in the next 5 or so minutes. 11 a.m. tomorrow.
Day 2 of the 2019 Australian Offshore Superboat Championship here on the banks of Lake Macquarie. This will be race 3, final race of the weekend for the 2019 Australian Offshore Superboat Championship. Andy Bowen is my name for Andy's Powerboat videos by Andy's Video Photography. We missed out on race 2, but at least they got the race completed for race 2. Race 3 looks like it's going to. Race 3 looks like it's going to be a cracker of a race. It's a bit choppy here on the shores and the banks of Lake Macquarie. A bit choppy, but that won't worry the offshore powerboats because that's what they're used to, and they love lifting out of the water and putting an absolute show here on the banks of Lake Macquarie. We should have the boats do a lap around the course, or they're just going to get straight into it and get the racing done. And then in a few weeks' time, I think they're heading up to Harvey Bay for round 4 of the 2019 Australian Offshore Superboat Championship, which is supposed to be an awesome weekend up there at Harvey Bay in far north Queensland, or somewhere in Queensland. Conditions are windy a bit. The lake is a bit choppy because of the wind, as we have the boats come out of the pits onto the course, we've got TCR Racing and so it should be a good race for race 3 of the 2019 Offshore Superboat Championship, and it's going to be very interesting who gets the run out of the chute down to the main straight
which is down the end of the course of Lake Macquarie. And yeah, so just missed out on race 2, but race 3 is supposed to be I'm hoping there's going to be a cracker of a race. Team Maritimo is the favourite of, and Andrew, the driver of Team Maritimo 11. I talked to him earlier over in the pits, and he said that he is going to be going full pelt at it. So yeah, he'll be standing on the gas, and yeah, so hopefully we'll be set to see a clear race, and hopefully nothing happens. So yeah. So as we have the boats up the top of turn 7 and 8, looks like that's where they stay to warm their engines up before they come down onto the course. And once the white flag brings, and the pole boat brings them down onto the main straight with the white flag up, and then they'll put the white flag down, and that's when they'll just thundering down the main straight down towards turn 1 and 2. And yeah, it should be fantastic. So yeah. So as I just zoom into where the boats are up onto the top of turn 7 and 8, just waiting for race control and to get this race underway here on the banks of Lake Macquarie. Sorry if it's so windy, but I can't do nothing about that, so yeah. As it looks like all the boats are all together in a pack. Looks like that they are just about nearly ready to bring them down. So yeah, the water conditions here on Lake Macquarie are starting to get a bit choppy because there is boats in Lake Macquarie that are making it very hard. But it shouldn't be okay. It should be okay for the boats because they are in more worse conditions than this. I've seen them when they're just lifting out of the water and jumping waves of basically nearly 5. I can't really pronounce how high they come out of the water, but I've seen them absolutely launch and like at Harvey, like at Bowen, Mackay, in Newcastle, Coffs Harbour, and to see these boats just jumping out of waves and the swell and stuff is just, oh, it's unbelievable. And these boats are very, very expensive machines. I think some of them might be around I don't really know if they are around the $1 million mark, but yeah, I can't even pronounce how much they would cost or how much they are. They would be around the $2,000 mark or around the $1,000 mark, so yeah, but it'd be interesting to ask one of the drivers how much their boat is worth. As we have the red flag up on the pole boat, it still looks like the course is still closed at this stage. Yeah, so once the pole boat puts the red flag down and puts the white flag up, we're hoping that the boats will start coming out of turn 7 and 8 onto the main straight, and you'll be, yep, red flag's down. Yellow flag's up, so just waiting for, as we can see, some of the boats starting their engines up on the banks of Lake Macquarie as they're up in turn 7 and 8, warming their engines up. As they're doing a bit of just going around in circles, that's called warming their engines up. And hopefully all boats are going to be running well for all the drivers, because this is a very, very expensive sport, offshore powerboat racing. And so, need to So as I just zoom into Hayden's boat from Dynamic Racing, he had a good day today in race 2. Yesterday he had some very bad engine problems. Apparently boat wanted to be just didn't want to do what it was supposed to do, so he wasn't very happy about that, and neither was the race team. So hopefully that, and he won, so we got the white flag up on the pole boat. So stand by, ladies and gentlemen, for race 3 and the last race of the 2019 round 4 of the Australian Offshore Superboat Championship here on the banks of the beautiful Lake Macquarie. I'm not going to be able to see down to turn 1 and 2, but I'm going to see them coming out of 3 and 4 over to Warners Bay, and then over to turn 5 and 6, back onto, and then onto 7 and 8. So sorry about that, but there's just
no way I can get down to the see the turn 1 and 2 because that's just how the layout of the course is. So it looks like the boats are coming out of turn 7 and 8 with the pole boat having his white flag to bring them all down onto the course. And it looks like Dynamic has full power, rooster tail out the back of the boat. That's great to see for Hayden in Dynamic Racing. Oh, this is going to be absolutely fantastic for round 3, race Rep 3, as they come down, set for a start. Racing and the white flag's down there racing. Maritimo down to the main straight, down to turn 1 and 2, with the others behind. Maritimo down into first, turn 1 and 2, down towards down towards 3 and 4, and they are thundering down the main straight, down into turn 1 and 2. And who's going to be out of the chute first, out of turn 1 and 2? And it's Team Maritimo, first place out of turn 1 and 2. Thundering towards 3 and 4. Over to Warners Bay. And we have Dynamic Racing in second place. And Team 3 in third place. As they thunder over towards Warners Bay, turn 3 and 4. Maritino absolutely thundering over there. And Dynamic Racing in second place, Team 3 in third place. As the unlimited boats are the ones at the front, and Maritino is it's neck and neck out of 4 and 5. Absolutely thundering out of that corner. Andrew, the driver of Team Maritimo, is absolutely flying down towards turn 7 and 8. And Hayden in Dynamic Racing is in second place. Team 3 in third place. As they come round turn 7 and 8 onto the main straight. And this will complete the first lap. Racing and Team Honk. As Team Maritimo is absolutely flying down towards turn 3 and 4 over the Warners Bay. And yeah, he's just absolutely put the pedal to the metal, and he has said to all the other drivers, catch me if you can. have Team Maritimo coming out of 4 and 5. Out of 6. And absolutely thundering up towards 7 and 8. Team Maritimo coming down to the second lap of the third race. Team 3 in second place, and Hayden in Diamond Racing in his third place. Lap 2 done for Heat Race 3 as they go down to turn 1 and 2. Team Maritimo over in turn 4 and 5, coming to turn 6. Man, there's a lot of people over there. Team Maritimo coming out of turn 5 and 6. Coming out of turn 5 and 6. As we have Andrew in Team Maritimo coming down for the complete the third lap. These awesome machines sound good on Lake Macquarie. Team 3 to complete the third lap of race 3 for the final race of the weekend. Maritimo is just past, he's lapping every boat, and he's coming down around turn 5 and 6. Team Maritimo, Andrew's boat, thundering down the main straight. This thing sounds absolutely awesome when it passes race control down the main straight. Thundering down towards turn 1 and 2. As we have Hayden in Dynamic Racing, massive rooster tail out the back of his boat, thundering down the main straight. Team Maritimo over near Warners Bay, turn 3 and 4. And this will be the final lap. Has stopped. Oh no, that's not good at all. Maritimo has stopped. Oh well, that gives Team 3 the lead. And Dynamic Racing's in third place. Second place, sorry. Team 3 down to the main straight. With Hayden in Dynamic Racing with the roost tail out the back of the boat. Down the main straight. Thundering down the main straight. Boat's sounding awesome today. Team 3 comes down onto the main straight with Hayden in Dynamic Racing not far behind. about the rooster tail on Hayden's boat, Dynamic Racing. Man, that's a lot of water. Getting thrown out the back of the boat. Team 3 in first place, heading over to 3 and 4 over the Warners Bay Bridge. And Dynamic Racing is not very far behind Team 3. Don't know how many laps they're doing, but still racing. Oh, look at that big rooster tail by Hayden out of Dynamic Racing. Man, that's a lot of water getting thrown out the back. Coming out of turn 5 and over towards turn 7 and 8. Side by side by Team 3 and Hayden in Dynamic Racing. Ding dong battle this is between Dynamic Racing and Team 3 down towards 7 and 8.
And it looks like Hayden's just taken over and put him up into first place. Around turn 8. Rooster Tail out the back. Onto the main straight. Oh, what a sight and a half this is. Side by side. What an absolute race that As I've been told, it's a half an hour race, so about 1:30 I think they finish. I'm not sure, but yeah, they're still going. So anyway, as they come out of turn 6, 5 and 6, and then on to down 7 and 8. Australian Offshore Superboat Championship here on the banks of Lake Macquarie for round 3 with Andy Bowen from Andy's Powerboat Videos by Andy's Video Photography in commentary as they go down 2, 7 and 8. Team 3 over there on the back straight, heading down towards turn 7, and Hayden in Dymac Racing onto turn 8 with Rooster Tail out the back, thundering down the main straight. The Hulk has just come to a stop, complete stop, over on turn. Oh, he's got it back going again. I thought he was going to stop then, but he's actually, he's struggling to get that boat fired up. Yes, he's got it back going. They're back in it. As I zoom back over to 5 and 6, turn 5 and 6 with Hayden in Dymac Racing with the massive big Rooster Tail. And he is loving these conditions on the banks of Lake Macquarie. As we want to say thanks to visit newsouthwales.com.au for this, and
Lake Macquarie Council for this fantastic weekend of these absolute awesome machines of the 2019 Australian Offshore Superboat Championship. Back on to turn 8 with Hayden in dynamic racing with Roostertail out the back. And this should be the final, and this is the, and it's the checker flag. And Hayden in dynamic racing takes the checker flag for race 3 of the 2019 Race Offshore Superboat Championship. Well done, Hayden. And Team 3 takes second place. Well done. Phew! That was awesome. I'm Andy Bowen from Andy's Powerboat Videos by Andy's Video Photography. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, and we'll see you here next year. Same time, same weekend, and there'll be plenty more powerboat racing yet to come. Until then, it's bye for now. That's the end of Andy's Powerboat Videos by Andy's Video Photography.